The conference portion of the season is here, but there are plenty more stories to tell of Hilltopper alumni who have shined on the volleyball court here and thrived in their professional careers since. It's once again time for our Alumni Spotlight presented by Alumni Hall, the official online store of WKU Athletics. I'm Brett Williams, and I'm joined this weekend by one of the two most recent graduates of this program from the class of 2020, defensive specialist Emma Kowalkowski. How are you doing today, Emma?
I'm doing well. How are you, Brett?
Doing really well. Glad to reconnect with you. And I always, like I said, one of the most recent graduates. You and Sophia graduated in 2020. Everybody else who played last year is back, but you're one of the only two people that can say you really played with this core as it has currently been put together. So very exciting there. And I want to start with your own career here on the Hill. You didn't miss a set, 132 matches, played in them all, got a lot of great minutes in there, and also became the 16th ever Lady Topper at the time, now called Hilltopper, doesn't matter what you call it, to reach the 1,000 career digs mark as well. As you look back on your 4 years on the Hill, what are some of your greatest memories?
All 4 years presented a different memory for me. Freshman year, you're still trying to get acclimated to everything. It's something my sister's going through right now with her program, so I'm kind of having flashbacks of like, wait, did I have to do this too? And all of that. And then sophomore year, obviously, like you're a little bit more acclimated, but after that, it all just kind of runs together. But yeah, great 4 years on the Hill. Being close to Western still, at Belmont, I get that question a lot is, well, how do you compare Belmont to Western? And so it really has kind of forced me to, recall and compare the two schools as they are.
So you're working as a GA in Belmont's athletics department, correct?
Correct.
So what does that job all entail?
So, as you know, sport marketing is not really marketing in the corporate concept. It's more of production. So we're writing the scripts, we're on headset, we're producing all of the fall, winter, spring sports. So I'm consistently in contact with most of the athletes, with most of the coaches, and the staff that are around the athletic department as well.
Certainly a job that keeps you on your toes.
Yes. Yep.
So, and I noticed too that you were one of the five Hilltoppers to this point who have received the Conference USA Jim Castaneda postgraduate scholarship after a tremendous academic run here on the Hill. 5-time president's list, couple times on the dean's list of every honor roll essentially imaginable here. You had your name in at some point. What did that scholarship mean to you, and what did it look like for you once you headed out of the Hill?
For me, that scholarship kind of represented everything that I had put in those 4 years and the planning that it took to figure out what comes next. Because you're so in your own niche of people, your own world as a student athlete, and then it kind of hits you like, okay, well, what comes after this? And so for me, getting to go through the application process for that and eventually receiving it, it was just it was really amazing, and I was really honored and humbled to have been one of the recipients of it.
And how would you like to see your career unfold as you continue to pursue your marketing endeavors, and you're working on your master's now as well? So what do you have in line in the years to come, you think?
I love Nashville. I love the South. I'd love to stay there, and I'm doing kind of everything in my power to do that. I've actually begun coaching club volleyball in the Nashville area, so I'm getting roots in the coaching world. If you count 14-year-olds, but getting roots in the country club aspect. I have a few side gigs right now that are going pretty well, so we'll see where all of this takes me in May.
Yeah, I saw in your bio on the Belmont page that pickleball is one of those side hustles.
Pickleball is a side hustle. Yes, I became a certified instructor in July and have instructed a few clinics at the country club that I work in the pro shop at, and then as well as just playing for my own fun. It really brings the competitive juices back.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're in this program, you got to get those flowing for a while and then find a way to release them somehow, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Goodness. So is pickleball something that you had played before and you just eventually found a way to start coaching it, or how did that all come about?
I was a pretty competitive tennis player growing up. My dream when I was younger was to go to Notre Dame and play tennis. And then 6th grade, I picked up volleyball, and then kind of, that became a new dream. I would play tennis occasionally when I would come home for like Christmas breaks, all through sophomore, junior year of college. And then when quarantine hit, I came home. My mom had kind of started this pickleball trend in our family. And then in May of 2020, she like we called it threw me to the wolves, like to go play with actual people instead of just in our driveway. And I loved it because it's so similar to tennis. It's got similar the agilities and the footwork and the reaction time of volleyball, and so it's like kind of every aspect of my life in sports had come together into one.
Emma, as you've now tapped into your coaching a little bit, got to talk about your head coach here on the Hill, Travis Hudson, now in his 27th year. I love to ask alumni this question. In what ways did Travis influence your life?
Well, I'll first answer this in many ways, especially now being on the other side of things as a coach. I find myself saying things that he would tell us.
Oh, my.
And like the same manner, the same, even like hand motions, everything. And it gave me a little bit more, not that I didn't have the respect of that as a player, but now being on the other side of it, it's definitely more, maybe a better understanding is the phrase that I want to use of why they would get frustrated at certain things and why more training is important than maybe say an alternate way of doing things. So I'm still fresh and young into my training coaching career, but it's been announced that I'm going to assist the 16-1s team this year. So I'm excited to be with a team that's at the recruiting level again, because that's where I like to thrive. Is like I love going through the recruiting process, as kind of psychotic as it is. I know everyone doesn't love it,
Yeah, I was going to say,
but
I
that's
haven't heard
something
that too
that
a whole lot, but
I
that's cool.
yeah, that's something that I really enjoyed, and that's something that I would really love to give back to my athletes.
That's awesome. Yeah, certainly the message of paying it forward certainly flows nicely out of this program, so love to see
Yeah.
that. Well, like I
hmm
mentioned at the top, Emma, you're one of only two people that has played with this team, and obviously a team that you got a chance to host the NCAA tournament in Diddle Arena. Then this team goes to its first ever Sweet 16, and who knows what exactly is in store the rest of the season, but how special of a group this is, and you know it about as well as anybody. I know you're probably in touch with this team. What would be your message to them right now as they try to see just how far they can go this fall?
I would tell them to not take anything for granted and to enjoy the present. I still talk to Nadia frequently, and that's something we have a conversation about a lot is just kind of what comes next, how to prepare for it, but also just to enjoy what you're doing right now, because you're only a college athlete once. And then after that, it becomes, well, like what I'm going through right now. What's my job going to be? Where am I going to live? And all of those questions that you ask yourself. So I would tell them just to enjoy it all.
Certainly the words of wisdom that are being passed down throughout this program this year. So great to hear that as well from you. Emma Kowalkowski, really appreciate your stopping by. We wish you all the best in your career and the rest of your master's program down at Belmont. And don't forget to keep making that drive up I-65 and come and see us every now and then.
I will. I'll see you at the alumni game.